Most people think power is loud. They believe the person who talks the most, who interrupts the most, who has the last word, is the one in control. This is a fundamental misunderstanding of human dynamics. The truth is, the most powerful person in the room is often the quietest one. They don't interrupt. They don't over-explain. They don't react. This silence isn't a sign of weakness. It's a weapon. Silence makes people deeply uncomfortable. The human brain is hardwired to hate uncertainty. When you remain quiet while others expect a response, their minds rush to fill the void. They start asking themselves questions. What are you thinking? Did I say something wrong? Do you know something I don't? Doubt begins to creep in, and anxiety follows. In that moment, without saying a single word, you've seized psychological dominance. Niccolo Machiavelli, the master strategist of power, understood this perfectly. He knew that authority begins to crumble the moment it feels the need to justify itself. Words invite debate, argument, and challenge. Silence, on the other hand, ends the conversation before it even begins. It signals that the matter is closed, that your position is non-negotiable. Think about it. People who talk too much are constantly leaking vital information. They reveal their fears, their intentions, their desires, and their limits. They hand you the blueprint to their own defeat. The silent person, however, leaks nothing. They are a black box. They observe, they listen, they collect information. And in the game of power, information is the ultimate leverage. Emotion is predictable. Anger, excitement, fear, these are all easy to read and easy to manipulate. But a calm, silent demeanor is not. When everyone around you is panicking or posturing, and you remain perfectly still, you instantly disrupt their expectations. The aggressive person becomes nervous. The confident person starts to second-guess themselves. Control shifts from them to you, simply because you refuse to play their emotional game. Power is never decided in private. It's a performance for an audience. Whether it's in a boardroom, a negotiation, or a social gathering, people are always watching. Crowds instinctively associate calm with strength and emotional outbursts with instability. The person who remains composed under pressure is perceived as the leader. Silence removes your predictability. Others cannot plan a strategy against what they cannot read. And what people cannot plan for, they begin to fear. This is why it is often said that it is better to be feared than loved. Love is fickle and requires constant maintenance. Fear, however, is a primal and powerful motivator. When your silence makes you unreadable and unpredictable, it creates a subtle undercurrent of fear. Not terror, but a deep-seated respect born from uncertainty. People will tread carefully around you, not because you are aggressive, but because they don't know what you are capable of. Quiet people have another massive advantage. They listen more than they speak, and most people are desperate to talk. They want to share their opinions, their stories, their secrets. Every word they speak is a clue, revealing their motivations, their desires, and most importantly, their weaknesses. The silent person enters a conversation knowing little and leaves knowing everything. The talkative person leaves having revealed everything and learned nothing. Master the strategic pause. When asked a question or faced with a challenge, do not respond immediately. Pause. Hold eye contact. Let the silence hang in the air for a few seconds longer than is comfortable. This simple act does two things. First, it forces the other person to sit in that agonizing uncertainty we talked about. Their own mind will start to work against them. Second, it gives you time to formulate a deliberate, powerful response, rather than a reactive emotional one. Pressure creates mistakes, and a strategic pause puts all the pressure on them. True authority never has to announce itself. It is felt. It's an aura. When you can remain silent and composed while under attack, others instinctively begin to adjust their own behavior. You'll notice their tone softens. They start to over-explain their position, seeking your approval. They are, in effect, surrendering control to you without even realizing it. Engaging in arguments lowers your status because it puts you on the same level as your opponent. Silence elevates you above the conflict entirely. Silence also creates mystery, and mystery creates an illusion of depth and importance. People project their own assumptions and fantasies onto what they cannot understand. An unreadable person is often assumed to be more intelligent, more strategic, and more powerful than they might actually be. Distance creates power, and silence is the easiest way to create that psychological distance. But let's be clear, this only works if the silence is controlled and intentional. Silence mixed with fear is just insecurity. If you're quiet but your body language screams anxiety, fidgeting, avoiding eye contact, weak posture, then you are not projecting power. You are projecting weakness. True power silence is calm, centered, and unwavering. Your posture is straight, your gaze is steady, your presence is solid. Those who master this art choose their moments to speak with surgical precision. And because their words are scarce, they have immense value. When they finally break their silence, everyone in the room stops and listens. Attention has been trained by the silence that preceded it. They haven't wasted their words on trivialities, so when they do speak, their message lands with the force of a hammer. Machiavelli wrote that the strongest position is one where your enemies destroy themselves trying to figure you out and challenge you. Strategic silence creates this position effortlessly. Your opponents become frustrated by your lack of reaction. They get more aggressive, more emotional, and they make mistakes. They expose their flank, and you can strike at the moment of your choosing, or simply watch them self-destruct. So if you want to cultivate real authority, stop feeling the need to prove yourself. Stop trying to win every argument. Speak less, react slower. Reveal nothing that is not absolutely necessary. Let others fill the silence with their own anxieties. Observe, listen, and wait. Because in any room, the most dangerous person is never the loudest one. It's the one who sits back, calm, silent, and completely unreadable. Master the art of silence, and you will master the art of power.